to today's live IELTS class. I hope everybody is having a good start to their weekend, staying healthy and strong. In this class, everyone, we are looking at speaking part 3, looking at some interesting or let's say strange questions and talking about giving some great answers. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Kyber. Hi, Alec. Hi, Janil. Good to see many of our members in this class. And Roman Pitch Shaik, nice to see many of our regular students. Hi, Flower Sun. While we wait for some more of your cohorts, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Do check us out there. And for a general IELTS help, check us out at gieltshelp.com. On both of those websites, we have loads and loads of materials for you, full practice exams, 6 of them, a fully interactive course, and lots and lots of video lessons. You can download and link the apps as well, Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. General IELTS Help app links to gieltshelp.com. Academic IELTS Help app links to aehelp.com. All right, everyone. So if you have any questions, you can send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. I'll gladly answer those questions for you. If you want our books, check out Amazon, search for AE Helps Academic IELTS and GE Helps General IELTS. You can grab our exam books from there. These live classes are Wednesday to Saturday at 13:30 and 15 o'clock Central European Time. You can always see the schedule for the week on our YouTube channel community board. I will put the schedule up for next week a little bit later today. Okay. Jawan, if you're not able to open up the website, send me an email. I'm pretty sure they're working just fine right now. This is speaking and speaking part 3. So the websites, they look like this. This is the academic website here with the blue background. And this is the general website here with the green background. You can click that big red button to join the premium package. And again, since this is a speaking class, I want to remind many of you and show many of you that you can practice your speaking for free on the websites. Okay? So when you go to the website, click the My Student account in the top corner here to log in. And when you log in to your My Student account, then you will be redirected to your content, which has loads and loads of materials for you. Taking a little bit longer than usual to load. I wonder why. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. All right, so anyway, this is your My Student account where you have computer-based exams. But the reason I'm showing you this is this part here. So you have live IELTS speaking in your My Student account, and you have this student partner speaking. This is free. You don't have to pay a single penny to use it. So when you click on that student partner speaking, the website will ask you to accept the agreement that you're going to speak nicely with others and you're responsible for what you say. So you accept that agreement, and then it opens up another page for you. And then when you get in there, you'll see some other students. We have one student in here right now waiting for someone to join up and speak with them. So we have Farizo Beck in here. I wonder if he's in the live class as well. But anyway, so Farizo Beck is in here, and you could chat to Farizo Beck right now. Send him a text with this blue button, or you can video chat with the green button, or just audio chat with the green button, so you can open that up, and there's lots and lots of questions in there for you. There's usually at least one or a few students in the chat option. Make sure to keep it open. There's some simple instructions here. It says text somebody hello, then ask them to video or audio chat. If it's not good, try again, okay? Sometimes there are limitations among countries and so on. So just try different users and keep the page open. So Fraserbeck probably has this page open right now and is waiting for somebody to link up, okay? And that's absolutely free, everyone. So you can use that for free to improve your speaking. And there's speaking sample questions in there as well. I didn't show you that, but there are sample speaking questions in there, like the questions that we will look at today for part 3. Okay, and again, it's absolutely free. We want you to practice. We want you to improve. So make sure to practice that. There's Fraserbeck also in the live class. All right, I'm going to brighten up our day here. I know it's a bit dark with the dark background, so worry not. Here I am. Here are the questions. Let me make it even a bit brighter. Get that happy balance of being able to see me. All right. Happy Aid, everyone. I'm sorry, I didn't realize it was Aid. If it's Aid, happy Aid. All right, everyone. So here we go. Let's get into some part 3 questions. Let's speak and repeat. So this is a speaking class. It's great if you're typing into the chat, but also speak. I'd love to imagine that you are not just writing and typing, but you're also speaking and saying what you write and what you read, what you hear me say, nice and loud, okay? So speak and repeat. All right, here we go with part 3. Now, part 3 questions, they can be a little bit strange sometimes. So many students who have taken the IELTS will say this. They'll say, oh, part 3 was really weird. The examiner asked me some really strange questions. So stay calm. Be open for anything. Don't try to guess the questions in your exam. Just be open. Okay, be open. All right. Okay, here we go. So the examiner will say, all right, that's the end of part 2. Now we will continue with part 3. For part 3, I will ask you some questions related to the topic of part 2. Let's talk about giving presents. Do you think parents give too many gifts nowadays? That's the first question. You won't hear the follow-up question till after. So let's start with this one. Do you think parents give too many gifts nowadays? Let's see what you say for this. All right. Zen Frederick says, parents do provide gifts. This is usually when I excel well in my examination or during any occasion. I do expect a lot, hence it's unworthy to spend too much on gifts. Zen, that will not work because you're talking about your parents. Part 3 students is usually general. Do you think parents in general give too many gifts nowadays? Obviously to their children. Alex Joseph says, yes, that's way too short. All right, James is having a mock test next week. It's good to get ready for that, James. Beckjohn says, yes, I believe that today's guardians give a lot of presents to their children because of the price and availability. Today's toys and dolls are considerably cheaper than in the past, which most parents can afford. Also nowadays, children's presents are ubiquitous. Very nice answer, Beckjohn. Nice answer, nice explanation. Maybe an example in there of what is too much. Okay. Kyber Momand says, yes, of course. These days, parents are providing a lot of presents to their children in order to show affection and make them jubilant. Just yesterday, my uncle bought an Apple laptop and the kid's card to his young child, Sahir. Okay. All right, Kyber, good. You're getting some examples in there. I like that. Watch your grammar mistakes. There's a couple in there. Huang Un says, absolutely. Compared to previous generations, fathers and mothers these days are buying their children a boatload of presents, whether for special occasions like birthdays or just out of interest. Perhaps parents have become wealthier than in the past, and pampering their kids with toys and gifts is one way for them to fulfill their childhood dreams. Yes, Hoang, very nice answer. Beautiful grammar, really nice vocabulary. I love it. So I'm going to take a page from your book, Hoang, and write something similar. Yes, I definitely believe that mothers and fathers, it's a nice description of parents, right? Mothers and fathers are buying way more gifts these days than in past generations, and spoiling their kids, whether it's for special occasions like birthdays or just for interest. They shower their children with a boatload of presents. I'd say on average at least 3 to 4 new toys every couple of weeks. Perhaps it's a way for parents to vicariously relive their own childhood. I know my mom got me the Barbie dollhouse that she always wanted when she was a kid, when I was 5, when I was 10. All right. So answer, explain, example. Again, you can give nice, long, fluent answers like this, 2 to 3 sentences. So a good answer for a question in part 3 is roughly what you can fit into 1 or 2 chats on the chat here. So it's about 250, 300 characters or something like that. Repeat after me. Do you think parents give too many gifts nowadays? Yes, I definitely believe that mothers and fathers are buying way more gifts these days than in the past generations and spoiling their kids, whether it's for special occasions like birthdays or just for interest. They shower their children with a boatload of presents. I'd say on average at least 3 to 4 new toys every couple of weeks. Perhaps it's a way for parents to vicariously relive their own childhood. I know my mom got me the Barbie dollhouse that she always wanted when she was a kid, when I was 10. Okay, cool. Try that again. Repeat several times. Lots of interesting language in here. Now, of course, in the IELTS, they're looking for lexical resource, and you're getting more marks for using idiomatic language. That doesn't mean you need to use idioms, but it means you can use idiomatic language, which is often just 1 or 2 words, as Hoang Un just showed, and I reflected here. So notice boatload of, okay? Obviously, it means like a boat that's got lots and lots of gifts, right? So boats can fit a lot of cargo. When we use this boatload of, it means lots and lots, okay? The verb shower, in this case, you can imagine a shower, okay? So like rain, There's a lot going on. Okay, so that is also showing a lot. So they shower, the verb here, their children with a boatload of presents. Okay, so it's really emphasizing that they are giving a lot of gifts to their kids. Anybody know the meaning of vicariously? What does that mean? Let's see who's been practicing their vocabulary. What does vicariously mean? Oh, and Natalie's asking that same question. I just saw that, Natalie. So there you go, Andy. Now you know the meaning of boatload. It's a load of items that fit on a boat. And what does vicariously mean? Kevin says, Bowie says, it's to live for the sake of others. Yeah. Kind of, Kevin, kind of the accurate definition there. It's to live through the actions of others, right? So if you're vicariously experiencing a situation, it means you experience it through another person. We will vicariously experience situations through our children, through our friends, through people that we know. Yeah, Rajveer says, experienced in the imagination through the actions of another. Okay, so through the actions of another, all right? So if you have a brother or a son who is really good at playing football and you feel like you're really good at playing football because of that, you're vicariously experiencing that situation. Okay, it's a really nice word, and that's a common situation for us humans, that we vicariously experience happiness, sadness, and success. Okay. Barbie dollhouse. Barbie is a type of doll. It's a very famous doll, and a dollhouse is a house made for dolls. Okay. All right. Okay, good questions, everyone. So that would be your Band 9 answer. Tackle these questions confidently. Okay, Part 3 questions can be a little bit weird. And what's important is answer, explain, and example. Notice how in here, there's no for example. Okay, so I didn't say for example here. The reason why is because if you say, for example, in part 3, you might get interrupted by the examiner. They might think, oh, you're going to go into a big story, go off topic, just keep talking and talking. So they will interrupt you. Okay? So don't say, for example. If you have a good example that's connected to your explanation, like living vicariously through your children, and this example is very connected to this explanation, then just say it. It's clear. Okay? All right. So build your vocabulary, build your grammar, build your fluency, and let's keep going on. Why might this be negative? Okay, so this is connected to the question of do parents give way too many gifts? You just said, yeah, they give too many gifts. Why might this be negative? Give me a nice full sentence for this question. Why might this be negative? So Elena says, well, I don't think there's harm to give an extravagance of toys, especially when they excite their children's imagination. Having said this, parents may overdo this, and children may not value gifts if they receive too many. Elena, I'm not too sure what you're saying in the end there. Even I'm just trying to correct it. I'm not quite clear, so you might want to rethink that, okay? That last part's quite confusing, Elena. Peya Basak says, this can be harmful if guardians surprise their kids with lots of gifts. There'll be less value for the gifts to children in the future. Everyone should limit themselves for purchasing toys, as it may cause, okay, Peya, and then you're continuing on, which is good. financial issues, is what Paya says, as it may cause financial issues. Yeah, possibly. If parents become shopaholics for their children, it could lead to financial problems. Roshni Kunte says, well, buying a boatload of gifts for children can have grave consequences on their minds and habits, such as what I had mentioned before. My uncle's daughter received gifts each week. If she missed, I'm not sure where you're going with that, Roshni, careful. Kyber says, even though giving a boatload of presents can bring smiles to a child's face, it can both cause children to be spoiled and increase destructive behavior of youngsters. I know that my uncle, who bought an Apple laptop for his child Johnny last month, and he's now playing games all day and never follows his parents' requests. Yeah, very good, Kyber. It's nice. Okay, nice connection among your ideas. Good job. Kevin Bowie says, if kids are overindulged with gifts, they would gradually take them for granted and become ungrateful, hence their lack of motivation to strive for goals. This would contribute to children's tough lives as they grow up realizing that nothing is achieved without effort. It's a band 9 answer, Kevin. It's really nice. Yeah, a very nice piece of vocabulary there, Kevin, is overindulgence. Everybody knows the meaning of overindulgence. It's a really good word that Kevin's using. This type of overindulgence can lead to dire outcomes for children's behavior. Sorry. And mentality. They can believe that such rewards come easy in life without having to invest much effort. I know my niece gets down on herself when she doesn't succeed, even though she hasn't really put in much elbow grease. All right. So, continuing with building your vocabulary and, hey, giving some good answers to these strange questions. Sorry about the coughing there. I got a little bit of a scratchy throat. Here we go. Why might this be negative? This type of overindulgence can lead to dire outcomes for both children's behavior and mentality. They can believe that such rewards come easy in life without having to invest much effort. I know my niece gets down on herself when she doesn't succeed, even though she hasn't really put in much elbow grease. Put in elbow grease is an interesting idiom which means effort. Okay, so you put in elbow grease. And get down on yourself. Okay, to get down on oneself means to become depressed. Depressed or sad, disappointed about failure. Okay, so add those words to your vocabulary list. Notice how here I backtracked a bit to use both children's behavior and mentality. So their thinking and their behavior using both and, which are, of course, correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions like both and, neither nor, either or, as I've said several times before, They're very effective to bump up your overall band score when you use a few of these effectively, accurately. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's cover a few more of these questions today. You're doing such a great job. I want to see how you make out with these next set of questions. Here we go, students. Let's do these ones. And again, be ready for these kinds of questions that might seem a little bit strange. And you're like, where did the examiner get that question? Here it is. Is gift giving important for the economy of a country? So is gift giving important for the economy of a country? It's kind of an unusual question. But again, keep calm, visualize, think about it. Okay, let's see what you come up with. Chetan Sakaria says, yes, nowadays with the expansion of toy industries gaining a lot of profit and contributing in economy in terms of tax and increasing employment rates of people, I think it's important. Chetan, you use the question. I think it's important for the economy of a nation that people exchange gifts. Okay. Lake, our member, says, well, the economy growth of a nation usually depends on spending capacity of citizens. So yes, it's good for the country. Okay, yeah, that works, Lake. Try to put the answer in the beginning in most cases. So yes, it's good for the country because economic growth of a nation depends on spending, and giving gifts, it creates people's needs and wants, and therefore the supply and demand chain. Right, Alex? So a little bit on the inverse there. All right. Charlie Sen says, yes, definitely. When someone buys a gift, they pay the price of the effort of the workers who make it. Besides, they eventually pay indirect tax whenever buying gifts, which benefits the economy. Very nice, Charlie. Abhishek says, yes, last year one of the oldest retail companies in the toy industry named Hamleys hired 20,000 workers around the globe. It is significant for the economy of a nation, not only increasing employment, but also contributing to the GDP of a country. Very good. Gift giving is the act of giving gifts, Andy. Hoang says, I'd say yes and no. Yes, for countries like America where the retailers make a boatload of money on occasions like Christmas or Thanksgiving from the gift purchasing craze of parents. However, in developing nations like Vietnam, the majority of contributors of the economy is more like tourism. Very nice answer, Hoang. I like it. That's great. You have some very nice critical thinking of the situation. Yeah, Christmas is a buying frenzy in the US and Canada as well. I can vouch for that. Absolutely. Elena says, yes, certainly gift giving is important for the economy of a country. I mean, companies generate huge amounts of revenues in festive seasons. As per one report, Walmart made $2 billion last Christmas, from which they donated $50 million to charity work. Really nice, Elena. I was hoping that somebody would come up with a little bit of quantitative information as well. Very good. Beckjohn says, present giving is important to the country's economy, if not vital. When people buy gifts, they also pay tax, which contributes to the revenue for the government. Just like yesterday, I paid about $20 on a tax buying an expensive perfume for my friend as a gift. All right, very nice, Beckjohn. I like that smooth flowing example. Good use of quantitative language as well to really explain how gift giving contributes to the economy. Absolutely. Okay. So we can say, yes, I would certainly state that buying presents contributes significantly to the national economy. I believe that individuals spend roughly 10% of their annual earnings on gifts for others, whether for Christmas gifts for the family or a nice gold necklace during Valentine's Day. A lot of tax revenue is generated by this custom. I probably paid at least $1,000 in gift taxes just in the last couple of years. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. Very nice. A lot of you remembered that quantitative language is crucial. So that's great to include. I've done the same. Repeat after me. Is gift giving important for the economy of a country? Yes. I would certainly state that buying presents contributes significantly to the national economy. I believe that individuals spend roughly 10% of their annual earnings on gifts for others, whether for Christmas gifts or for the family or a nice gold necklace during Valentine's Day. A lot of tax revenue is generated by this custom. I probably paid at least $1,000 in gift taxes just in the last couple of years. Okay, sure. So that makes sense. Again, here are a few points before we go on to the next few questions to keep in mind, okay? Part 3 questions can be unusual, like this one, right? I mean, who really asks that from another person in an everyday conversation? So, hey, gift giving, is that important for a country's economy? It could come up, but probably not going to happen today or tomorrow. In the IELTS, it can. So part 3 questions can be unusual. Be ready for any question. Remember that it is connected in some way to part 2. Okay? Don't try to predict questions for the speaking before the exam. Websites that say they know the next exam's question are lying. Okay? Keep your thoughts simple. Use critical thinking, visualization, and buy time when needed. Like saying, that's an interesting question. Or, I never quite thought about that. Just allow me a moment. Okay, so use those to help you buy a little bit of precious time, precious seconds, so that you can think about it. Does gift giving, when do we give gifts? Well, we give gifts during Big celebrations like Christmas. I know Aid, people spend a lot of money as well during graduation ceremonies, birthdays, Valentine's days, anniversaries. So yeah, we're humans like to give gifts. It's part of our nature, and we probably spend a lot of money doing it. So I'd say if we all stop giving gifts, probably have a negative effect, even in countries that are have lower GDPs. I still think that giving gifts is quite considerable. All right, so here we go. Let's continue on. Next question. Of course, why not? If we're talking about society and the government, why not throw in a curveball and get nature involved? How does giving gifts affect the environment? How does giving gifts affect the environment? Let's see what you come up with for this one. All right. Kyber says, no doubt, if it is done excessively, the impact on the environment is not positive and can lead to a lot of waste and pollution. Careful, Kyber. Let's see. Swati says, there is no harmful effect on the planet if presents are eco-friendly, like houseplants. That said, if gifts consume a lot of energy, produce carbon dioxide, then they are definitely harmful, which is most of the time is true. Okay, good, Saswati. I like your answer. Nice use of vocabulary. Georgie says, I would say that gifts obviously have some kind of influence on the environment, while most of the toys are made from plastic, as we know, and it's quite difficult for nature to decompose such materials. Decompose, Georgie. Decompose means to break down. Decompose, break down. Zaid says, that's an interesting question. Just allow me a moment. All right, Zaid, you got a moment. Think about it. Rajveer says, also it contributes to an increase in the carbon footprint when people drive their vehicles to deliver gifts to their dear ones. Gift giving has dire consequences on the environment as people use polythene wrappers for gifts, which is harmful for Mother Earth. Yeah, wrapping paper, right? There's a lot of wrapping paper out there for gifts that's quite harmful for the environment. That's a good one. Nice visualization, Rajveer. Good job. And Rajveer, you get a much larger thumbs up for using the word dire, taking one of the words that I used and making sure to learn it and apply it. Well done. Okay, good job. All right. So, clearly, there are a variety of ways that giving presents impacts nature negatively, not least of which are land, water, and air pollution. Many gifts contain materials like plastics, which do not decompose easily. The phrasal verb for decompose is break down. Okay, easily, like the overabundance of toys that parents buy for their kids, which we talked about yesterday. I'm sure that even people living 1,000 years in the future will find plastic Tonka trucks in the ground from the 1990s. Oh, that could be quite a valuable collector's item by then. Here we go, students. Repeat after me. How does giving gifts affect the environment? Clearly, there are a variety of ways that giving presents impacts nature negatively, not least of which are land, water, and air pollution. Many gifts contain materials like plastics, which do not decompose easily, like the overabundance of toys that parents buy for their kids, which we talked about a moment ago. I'm sure that even people living 1,000 years in the future will find plastic Tonka trucks in the ground from the 90s. All right. Not yesterday, a minute ago. Multitasking. Sometimes my brain gets confused, but it does correct itself. Okay, here we go. Zaid says, yes, indeed, when looking at the topic as a social view, we can see dire effects on our surrounding due to tons of waste of plastic trash. They'll be thrown away and buried in landfills. Zaid, they're called landfills, the places where we dig a big hole. We put all of those toys that we don't use anymore and other garbage, and then we put earth and dirt on top. That's called a landfill. Just think land, and then you fill it. Okay, so that's where garbage is buried in the ground. Hina says, yes, it affects the environment in different aspects, like using plastic bags and wrappers. That's a big factor in destroying our surroundings. Hina, that's a nice start. Keep giving more details to bump up your band score. All right, let's go to the next question. Let's make some headway here and get to the next question. Why is it sometimes difficult to buy a gift for someone? Give me a nice full sentence answer for that. Why is it sometimes difficult to buy a gift for someone? Ayana says, deciding on what to give to someone becomes a difficult decision when we are faced with a lot of factors such as our financial status. We are pressured to give expensive gifts to comply to the standards of gift giving nowadays. Oh, don't feel that way, Ayana. Something that comes from the heart is always well received. Don't believe all that media and advertising out there. A true gift usually comes from the heart. It doesn't have to be expensive. But aside from differences of opinions, it's a good answer. Okay, that works. Just give me an example of what you mean, and it will be even better. Okay, it will be even better. All right. Elena says, it is really difficult to buy gifts for someone because most of the time we are not aware of their taste. Like last month, I bought a tulip flower bouquet for my boss's wedding anniversary, but I really messed up as I came to know that my boss's wife is allergic to tulips. Yeah, I was going to guess that it was going to be an allergy, Elena. Yeah, if you don't know that somebody has an allergy to a certain flower, plants can be a dangerous choice for gifts. Absolutely. Okay. Elena, not everything messed up, but I messed up. Okay, I messed up as I came to find out that my boss's wife is allergic to tulips. All right. Bisser Demerdiev says, sometimes you may like something, but the person you buy it for may not like it. To me, it's always hard to choose a present, even for a person I've known for a very long time. So I prefer to give money. Bisser, come on, get creative. Don't just give money. Give something from the heart. Think about their hobbies. Think about what they've said to you in the past. I'm just giving some suggestions here. Otherwise, Bisser, it is a good answer. Okay, Bisser, instead of using you, like what you buy and what you may like, use I. So sometimes I like something, but the person I'm buying it for may not like it. So use I if you're going to use anything. Don't use you. Okay, you can make for confusing information. All right, so sometimes I might like something, but the person I'm buying it for might not like it. So for me, it's always hard to choose a present. Use I, me, my. Okay, it's clear conversation. All right. Mayank Vermani says it can be really tough for people to choose a particular gift because of the wide range of products available nowadays and their changing taste. This can cause some serious issues. Mayank, really nice writing. Serious issues and sometimes may lead to wasting money. Yeah. Can you give me an example, Mayank? I'll give you a better band score if you can. Okay. All right. Andres Sanchez says, people tend to have different ways to enjoy life, so when we try to give a gift, we try to please the other person's desires. So if I don't know the person that well, it's hard to figure out what to buy them. Very good. So there are a few different reasons that buying the perfect gift can be quite challenging. In some cases, it's tricky to figure out what the recipient is into, what are their likes and dislikes. In other cases, certain people are very fortunate and have just about every item a person can imagine. My parents are a great example of this. They have gathered so many possessions that I'm always stuck for ideas of what to get them. All right. There we go. Repeat after me. Why is it sometimes difficult to buy a gift for someone? There are a few different reasons that buying the perfect gift can be quite challenging. In some cases, it's tricky to figure out what the recipient is into, what are their likes and dislikes. In other cases, certain people are very fortunate and have just about every item a person can imagine. My parents are a great example of this. They have gathered so many possessions that I'm always stuck for ideas of what to get them. Anybody got ideas? Let me know. All right. Here is the follow-up question. What are the ways to overcome such challenges? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this one. So, what are some ways to overcome? I bet you we're going to get some really good tips from each other for this question. Charlie says, one can call that person's near and dear ones to know the tastes of that person. Also nowadays, one can search for that person on social media account like Facebook, Instagram to know about their likes and dislikes. Like when I called my friend to figure out what our mutual friend likes for sports and hobbies. Okay, Charlie, good. I can see that you were trying to continue on there. Oh, friend about his daughter's birthday gift. There it is, Charlie. I see that. Kyber says the quick way to solve these challenges is to ask the recipient what they like because it could save a lot of time. Short and sweet, to the point. It's a solution. Students, when it says what are ways, you should try to come up with at least two. Okay, so pay attention to the plural in the question. When you see that what are ways, try to come up with at least two. Okay. All right. Ayana says to overcome these challenges, it's best to keep in mind that gifts are given in order to make people feel loved and happy, regardless of the amount spent on them. There you are, Ayana. I love how you picked up on what I was putting down and then came up with a great answer. Good for you. All right. Alex Joseph says, we can solve this problem by giving handmade items like a wooden slab key holder or mini frame magnets, painted mugs. They may like it more than expensive gifts because of the sentimental value and the effort that went into producing them. Right, Alex? Don't use ETC, Alex. We're speaking, not writing. And you shouldn't use etc. in your writing either, Alex. So just state what you know and then stop there. Or state what you want to state, stop there. Don't use ETC. Okay? All right. Alex says the best way to give gifts to people who already have a lot of possessions is to give them gift cards so that they can decide what they want. Very clever, Alek. Yeah, that's why gift cards have become so popular these days, right? And then Alek continues, and we can also try asking them what is it that they need and gift them exactly what they ask for. Hina says, as I said earlier, it's important to know what that person would love to have as a gift. Like I know my best friend very well, and so I never had any problem choosing a gift for her. Yeah. Okay. There are a few clever solutions to coming up with great gift ideas. One is to buy gift cards or certificates so that the recipient can decide exactly what to get. Another great approach is to think about buying experiences rather than objects, like dinner for two or a nice relaxing massage. Of course, it is important to empathize with the recipient and try to put oneself into their shoes. Empathize. All right. Here we go. So what are some ways to overcome these challenges? Repeat after me. There are a few clever solutions to coming up with great gift ideas. One is to buy gift cards or certificates so that the recipient can decide exactly what to get. Another great approach is to think about buying experiences rather than objects, like a dinner for two or a nice relaxing massage. Of course, it is important to empathize with the recipient and try to put oneself into their shoes. That's the expression that we use when you empathize, when you think about, hey, if I were my friend, what would I really like? I put myself in their shoes. Okay, I put myself in their shoes. That's the expression. Students, viewers, members, fantastic work today. Here are 3 more questions dealing with this topic. You can try this on your own, record your answers in MP3 format, and then send it to me, and I'll let you know roughly what band score you can expect in the IELTS speaking section for your response, okay? So read the question, and then give your answer. Record it in MP3, send it to me by email, and I'll gladly give you a score estimate. Adrian@ahelp.com. That's my email address. And for those of you who do it, you know what? I'll send you a special discount code for our premium packages. So send me your recordings in MP3. I'll send you back a score estimate, and I'll send you back a special discount code to join the premium package where you can practice even more speaking. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everyone. Happy Eid to all of you around the world celebrating that. And hopefully I will see most of you, all of you, next week from Wednesday. I will post the schedule later today, so make sure to check back on our community board. Bye for now, everyone. Much love back at you, Khyber. You're very welcome, Rajveer. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.